Maybe not. Call the meeting to order at 59 p.m. Have we all had the opportunity to review the minutes?
Yes.
I move we approve the minutes as submitted. Any second there. Thank you.
All in favor?
There you go. Okay, so I move that we approve warrants number 24, and that would be 25, it would be 24 and 25, and the payroll warrants from April 13th and April 20th, as submitted. I second it. All in favor? Okay. Do we have any kind of an RSU 10 report tonight? We don't even have Richard here to give us a report.
I just emailed them to see if they had any idea of what the budget would be, so we can plan our budget.
That would be
But
nice.
they didn't answer yet.
Not surprising. Okay, so that would be no. So road report. Number 2, I see there's something here under Gurney Hill repair. And I'm assuming that this copy of statute regarding the private maintenance of town ways is regarding that.
Yeah, I thought Ben was gonna-
That would be you,
Yes. The home is up on the end of Gurney Hill.
right? Right, and Michael Highland.
Yes, Michael.
I just know she's gonna want to write your name down.
Come last spring, they maintained up until Ramsey's first. They've been.
Yeah, okay, talking about in the winter.
Spring,
Yeah, okay.
last year, last term. And then they stopped at Blue House, Ramsey's house there on the corner.
Oh, you're talking about what I would refer to as Rogers Camp Gammon Place. The blue house is way down in the corner.
Gammon is 1, 2, third house. Ramsey's would be second. The blue house is Ramsey's as well. That gets before you get to Ramsey's.
Yeah, way on that sharp corner down the hill. Yep.
So Ben stopped maintaining. He did a lot on that on the beginning half of it. It needed runoff to be cut out.
Ditches.
Yeah. And then he brought in some fill and he crowned it. And he did a good job. Didn't do anything else until fall. And then he went from Ramsey's blue house past our house and right before Gammon's house. And he widened the road for plowing and crowned it. And then he didn't go any further. So from the Gammon house to the Holland's, it's gotten really bad. And
Oh, bet.
I maintain it up there in the winter. I get up there before Ben gets up there to plow it.
Sure.
And he's had to pull me out a couple times this year.
I remember at least one famous incident.
Yes. Yes. But the road, they call it Halloween Drive.
Halloween Drive?
Halloween.
Oh,
Right.
Halloween, yeah, okay.
It's Gurney Road though.
Yeah.
It's Gurney Hill Road.
But that's where their property line starts, and it goes up to their house and over, and you have a cemetery.
right?
So I understand that that's an easement, and, from what Ben was saying,
It's a public road.
It's actually public road all the way to the cemetery.
Let's be him, I think, right there.
So I stopped in on the
That was
6th
into his garage, that truck.
Okay, could be.
to
Yeah, so if that is in fact the road commissioner arriving, I can't see it from here. Okay, so can we put a hold on this until he's here? Because he'll undoubtedly want to hear what's going on.
It's when I'm off the front door.
I did not, sorry. Thank you. I got that here. Come on in, Bim, we're on road report now. Yes, and having a discussion on the subject of the Gurney Hill Road. Come on in, sit down for heaven's sake. Come on, act like you belong here. Okay, so this is Michael Highland. And he is the one who's been doing the property maintenance for the folks that live up above the cemetery. Okay, just making sure. And we were just discussing, he was just talking about how he, what he's been doing up there, and that the road has some issues up past Rogers Camp.
Yeah, I know, I spoken with him about it.
Okay,
on the 6th.
You're more or less interested in working on the corner up the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
He didn't get that far.
Huh?
He didn't get that far about doing the
I
road.
had got there yet. I got there yet.
yeah, we haven't heard that part.
Yeah.
Perhaps you'd like to continue.
So, the Hollanders and I have been discussing about doing something, with their turnaround and everything up there. And then something with the road through the corner. It's kind of steep. We had a bunch of snow this year, we had a lot of runoff, the road's deteriorated. So, we decided we we're gonna put 120 yards or they are, and I'll facilitate it. 120 yards of 1.5 inch gravel, and then grade it, and then roll it. So, before I did anything, I stopped in on the 6th.
Right,
You were there,
yeah,
she was there, and.
She
now we're-
being the owner. Oh, Leanne.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I don't know I wouldn't say
Leanne is,
she.
Leanne is the town clerk.
Sorry about that.
And it's okay, but she can refer to a lot of people, so I just wanted to clear that up.
yes, that hill does need some material added in it, and it needs to get a crown back in the road so the water gets into the ditch. I have no problem with him adding or doing some work there. I'd like to stop by and just talk with you about what you want to do. I think we're kind of all the same page what needs to be done anyway. You had a dollar figure you had mentioned to me you were looking at possibly spending.
Yeah, it's about 5 grand.
Yeah,
So, well, that sounds just great, except for, and let me read from this, from the Committee on Local and State Government and the Subcommittee on Abandoned and Discontinued Roads. And I'm going down to the bottom of the page here to read, no private maintenance of town ways. Municipal officials are often asked whether the private citizens can repair their and maintain public ways at their own expense. And what rights and liabilities this involves. There's no statute on point, but the case law is clear that private individuals have no right to repair or reconstruct town ways. This may only be done by the municipality or person acting with the authority of the municipality. And there's a footnote here that I don't have, but the result is logical since the municipality is responsible for defects in a town way, so the municipality should be able to control the repair of a town way and the resultant liability. That said, I mean, and that's kind of that. I mean, this has been an issue for down past my place.
Yeah.
Because you know where the second place is there, there's a second driveway and the road is discontinued after the second driveway of that lower place. And people have wanted to touch it up from time to time. Because the road, the town doesn't do much with it. That said, generally speaking, if somebody wanted to make a donation to the town to help something like that happen, as long as we have budgeted for something, and we certainly do budget for road repair, I think somebody can make a donation towards that. Yes,
I think we ought to set that paper kind of aside and not make this thing complicated.
Mhm.
If this guy wants to do work up on the road, I would stop by and work with him on what he wants to do. And we would benefit by him doing it. We don't need to get all technical about, there's only 120 yards of gravel. I would be right there to cover our bases, just to work with you on what you're doing. This could be a pretty simple thing, and it's a benefit to the town, so I think we should just go along and let him do it, you let me know when you wanna do it, and we can take a look at it, and as long as we're kind of on the same page, which I know we are, it's a benefit to the town, why would we not let him accept this work?
don't shoot the messenger, man. I'm just letting you know.
I
I'm just.
everything here sometimes seems to get all complicated because we gotta go dig out some paperwork to make it complicated. So let's just work with the guy, let him do a little work and.
To make it complicated or to make it legal? That's the thing.
It's not much different than a cost sharing project to the town, and we do them all the time with, it's a donation. Yeah, what's wrong with that? There's no problem, I see no problem.
So what you're saying is that, I guess what I need to hear is that, I mean, you're just gonna stop by and take a look at what they're up to, or, I mean, I guess I just, yeah, I really don't want to see us, you know, it's just, I guess I feel like it sounds like a great idea, and yet I have to concern myself about the slippery slope. Now, that's not to make a pun, because that is in fact a slippery slope.
Yes.
But, you know, I just don't want to see us, you know.
We're not going to be, I'm gonna be right, I'll be by, I'll work with you guys on the project, which helps kind of cover us as far as me being there, what's going on.
You gonna rent a grader?
I'm having a great delay from staff. He does all my excavation.
We're planning on doing some grading on that road anyway, I mean, if you got it pretty much roughed in the way we want it, when we grade the road, then.
We're gonna put a ground to it, try and culverts and diminish or grow.
Right.
I guess that is-
You've got to get a ground in that, up at the top of the hill to get your water at the top of the hill going into the pit, not halfway down or whatever. I mean, I'll meet with you, we'll discuss it, and I don't think it's a big deal, I think it's a benefit to the town. We'd be foolish not to let him do
I'm curious how long will it take?
I'll be in and out in a few days.
But that is, just to be clear, a public road up past the cemetery.
Cemetery.
it. The
Up to
road
the
goes
cemetery?
off to the right there, right about where the cemetery, yeah, and the turnaround is just off to the side there.
From what he has, here, and from what they told me is that that's their land. The other side of the road of the cemetery is the cemetery. Or the towns.
Well, the old road used to go right, if you walk the hill to the cemetery, you'll see where the old road more went straight. And you kind of go off in the turnarounds here.
Yeah.
You'll see the old stone wall where the road went straight. Yeah.
But it was
I
never
mean-
discontinued. It
Huh?
was never discontinued. It's a public road. Anybody can drive up there. and-
Oh, yeah, everybody knows.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about everybody, but,
Yeah.
you know, and folks have as much right to.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I think it's a pretty simple thing. I think it'll be a benefit to us, so. And I mean, I'll start by and work with you a little on what we're doing, so we're all on the same page. We'll be in and out of there in 2 or 3 days. I see absolutely no problem with
It's up to y'all.
Take it as a donation or whatever.
I mean, the Holland's just want something done.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. I completely understand where they're coming from and where you're coming from. And I would say, I was reading that because in fact, that is how, that is the position of the town,
And I agree.
is that, you know, these are the rules. And I don't drive up there often enough to know what really happens or not. How do you feel about this?
Well, just as long as they understand that it's still a town road
Oh, yes. They
after this
understand
is,
it's still a town road.
after this is all done.
Yeah. Anyway, they're not looking to put a gate down. And, when we started building the garage up there, I didn't know the property lines.
Didn't know what?
I didn't know the property lines, and I put all the lumber up there, and there's, you know, they come up on the weekends, they might come up during the week, for a night or two. So I put a cable right there at the turn.
it. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
No, I took it down the same day,
I-
I put a cable up so people could get up there.
Right,
I take a picture of it.
You don't even drive, but up with a log cabin.
Yeah, it's already done.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he let us park his trailer or hit some over there and turn around, but oh well, you know, big deal.
The lumber, which is a building
Not
now anyway.
permanent. It's not
And I
permanent.
suppose you put the cable there because you didn't want somebody to
Yes,
take your
Yeah.
lumber off.
so I have an app, and so the clients that I have that are in town see what's going on. I took a picture of it, and they looked at it, and they're like, does it get an alert? And he said, where'd you put that? I said, right at the corner, right where the Holland sign is. They're like, oh, no, that's a public road. You can't put it there. So they understand. They just
Yeah.
want good access.
I hear you. Do you have any thoughts on this, Laura?
So let them do it. Benefits the town, saves us money.
And time
Question.
for them.
Is there a question? I don't know. Anybody who's trying to contact us through messages in chat is barking up the wrong tree.
Oh, there's a bunch of people on here.
There are 4 people on there that I can see.
Oh, it's up here. Could you encourage those speaking to move closer to the microphone?
Yeah,
The
you
alien.
can move the microphone closer.
The alien.
Is that better? We'll never know. You're pretty quiet.
There he is. He turned himself off.
Well, wait a minute.
We can hear you not loud and clear.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm not sure what to say about this, you know, is this something that we want to take a vote on, or is this something we would rather not have a vote on and just?
You could only vote to accept the donation.
Accept it as a donation.
Either that, have something drawn up so that if something happens. nothing can
Well,
come
that's
back
the whole
on the
reason,
town.
that's the whole reason why towns are discouraged from allowing private parties to work on the roads.
But he's gonna have them up there, so.
I'm gonna be right there with them when they do this, and I think we're gonna be well covered. I think the simplest way is just serve it as a donation.
Would you like to put that in the
I
form
don't
of a
see
motion,
any
Kathy?
problem.
What? To let them do it?
To accept the donation from the
No.
Holloman,
Um,
from the Holloman family?
Okay, make a motion that we accept the donation from the Holloman family.
Towards the repair of the road.
Put
Jimmy
money
Carr.
toward repair of Gurney Hill on the corner, up.
yeah,
I'll second it.
All in favor? So,
There you go.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, there you go. That's let me know when you want to do
all right.
just remember, the town isn't reliable for nothing. Whatever happens.
Is it reliable?
it. Reliable.
Reliable.
That's good. Not the right page.
Well, actually, the town is, because it's a town road. Wait, so whatever happened? No, I hear what you're saying, but in fact. All right. Anything else to tell us about the roads? Like when you're gonna start grading?
All still keeps raining all the time on it.
We'll be doing some grading this coming week, but most of them probably, most of them, some of them will come down around the first.
Yeah,
Some of these newly paved roads that we spent a lot of money on, we're gonna probably be looking into the second week. We have to look at these, depends what the weather is, if it rains every day, I'm gonna be gone.
Supposed to
you know,
rain
I'm-
3 days.
I'm perfectly content with the road staying posted. I guess I'm just wondering about the grading part, but, you know, obviously you don't want to grade right before it rains. On the other hand, I'm hoping that we see the roads graded.
We're not gonna be
while
able
we
to
still
get-
have a
we're
little
not gonna be
moisture.
able to get into our regular grading, it's way too early. But we will be able to skim up and down the middle, and get some of the potholes. I was actually gonna done Tucker Road today, but I got tied up with this oil and water, and I've been all day.
Yeah.
around the-
I'll imagine you have. Yeah, well, just wondering. All right, well, thanks so much. Do we have a CEO report tonight?
No, but did you see the email?
I
I
have.
don't know if you want to bring that up or.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that might come out of planning board or code officer. Have you seen these emails?
About the building on Beachway.
I'm aware of it.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been checking you've been noticing these emails? Yeah. I was gonna bring it up either CEO or planning board report, and I guess CEO is as good a place as any. Yeah. So evidently there is a property on Beachway that a house has been built. And it was built right in shoreland without, evidently there was a permit issued by the code officer at the time who it never evidently occurred to him to send this before the planning board, which for buildings in shoreland, it's supposed to go before the planning board. So, so there's some discussion, and I've read the emails. I kind of don't know what to think here. Evidently, if, there has to be a decision of some sort as to how to go about this, if the building is still under construction and a stop work order could be put, but, I've only just heard about this today, and, I'm not sure what is the best course of action.
I think someone should contact the prior CEO to see
Go down, have a look.
what actually happened. Because I wasn't here and.
Right,
Have him
sure.
Go talk to.
No, just to talk to you guys to see, because I don't have the application.
Right,
for the
sure.
permit. I have nothing.
So
except for
you
that.
don't have, do you have any permit at all?
Just the one that, because people have been complaining, and Scott went down and checked it out last year, and the guy had a permit, you know, cardboard permit, so he copied it.
The little,
Yeah, that's all we have.
so we don't have any record of a permit being issued. Hmm. Okay. I see a hand up. Yes, Mr. Kerwin, your hand is up.
It is. Good evening. What's the location of this particular situation? I know you said
101
shortly.
Beach Way, or actually West Cove, which turns into Beach Way. It's actually not Beach Way until it gets into Turner. So it's 101 West Cove Drive.
Okay, so that's down on the southern end of the lake?
It's actually on the southern
Bear.
end of Bear
Bear.
Pond.
Just right
Oh,
down.
okay, got it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Wanna cost-
so, maybe that's the thing to do. I mean, it seems to me that, I almost had the impression that this was kind of a hair on fire situation and needs to be dealt with right off. Some of Scott's comments are that we would have to go to court to enforce any actions or fines assessed. And, right, so Peggy said to save money, we should try to avoid a court proceeding, but if, because, another comment from Scott is, I agree, this is an administrative problem. It stems from the prior CEO operating under the select board's authority. I have no standing in interfering with another CEO's action. However, another option the planning board has at its disposal is to file an administrative appeal to the appeals board and have the building permit revoked, after which I would issue a stop order until the owner acquires planning board approval. If it is denied, additional legal action would be explored. Problem is, the court would most likely find in favor of the owner since he has a building permit
Are you
in
supposed to be
hand.
sharing all of this, because it's kind of a legal thing?
Okay, so, okay, well, I can stop sharing it. In any case,
Can he not order him to stop? I mean, isn't that his authority regardless of history? And then number two, I would think the owner should be coming to the planning board and talking to them about this.
yeah, well, remembering one of my earliest experiences on the select board had to do with a permit that was granted on Lake Annissagunticook, and the permit was granted, and then sometime after that, the code officer determined that, in fact, it was really, the place was really too close to the road to put in a septic, and too close to the lake as well, and thus the permit had been revoked and a stop work order was put on, but it was after the 30 days that any code officer has to revoke a permit, and the town was basically facing legal action from the owner, and we ended up at the select board and the owner and so on, ended up at the law offices in Auburn having a mediation on the subject. In the end, they built what they built, and the town paid them a lot of money.
How do you put a septic in?
Pardon?
How do you put a septic in? You're too close to the lake, you're too close to the river.
This one?
No, not this one.
Oh,
This is not this case. I'm talking about a case that happened in 2003.
Well, don't they put in those kind that you have to empty out all, the holding tanks?
Something, I don't know what kind of a septic tank they put in, and frankly, I mean, I don't remember about that part.
Yeah.
But all I remember is, very early on in my time on the select board, we were drug into a lawyer's office to have a mediation on this subject because of a stop work order that was placed on more than 30 days after the permit was issued. And that's, that is, to some extent, the extent of my knowledge on this subject is that, once the permit's been issued, you don't necessarily have a right to just slap a stop work order on it. So maybe it is a matter for the appeals board. I'm not sure, and Scott, and so I don't, I'm not sure which direction to go, and maybe this is a situation where we actually need to, consult with municipal legal, the legal services, because we don't necessarily know where we stand. I mean, it's obviously an issue, and it obviously has to be addressed. But it seems to me that that's why we pay the big bucks to the municipal association, is because we have a crack legal team on retainer, basically.
Is the planning board or the planning board chair aware of the situation?
Oh, yeah, she's the one who called me with her hair on fire, telling me about this.
Do they have a silk fence up in A? And
I have no details for you. I've looked at it from Google Earth, and frankly, I couldn't tell that part.
Well, that's because that Google thing is months behind.
Yeah.
But I mean, the point I'm making is,
that could give you, I think, with DEP, could give you a stop work order.
that's also possible. It's also possible. But in any case, I guess maybe that was maybe the first place to go. And I will call Scott tomorrow and ask him what's the latest on this. Would you like to contact this previous code officer and ask him what he knows about it?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I think I have a telephone number for him if you like. Or maybe you just
I'll go
want,
down and see.
yeah, do you want a number just in case?
Yeah.
Hang on. Okay. I obviously have to edit it because that still says code officer, but in any case, there you go. So you'll contact them. Yeah, will you contact the municipal association with the legal services?
Is it okay if Peggy does? Because
She might be the best one to do. Okay, so I will contact her.
She knows more about it than I do.
And okay, so I will contact Peggy, and I will also call Scott to find out the details of it. Let's say I only heard about this morning before I went to work, and I haven't really had a chance to figure out what's the story on that. In any case, so moving right along, anything from the ACO?
No.
Well, that's always good news. And planning board report, I think, I think I just told you the most important part. There is another dwelling where somebody has built we had a permit for a deck, but then they built the deck bigger than the permitted structure and actually closed some of it in, which means that they have more enclosed space, which changes the, in shoreland changes the amount of square footage that they have. And so that is possibly going to be an issue, but
Up here?
no. No, it is on Lake Anderson to Cook, and if you were driving up to Canton, you might see it.
That's what I mean.
You said out here. right?
You guys are usually facing this way, so.
I meant just.
Heading towards Canton.
Yes, Jesus Christ.
Well, you're pointing to Bob Brook. for
Yeah,
heaven's
I
sake, don't know. Yeah, I was completely disoriented, in any case, yes. Okay, well, so I don't really have anything more from the planning board. Ordinance committee. Do we have anything from the ordinance committee tonight? I see that the chairman is a blank square up there.
Yes, I am here. We're meeting, excuse me, we're meeting next Tuesday to finalize a copy of the administrative ordinance, part 2 or chapter 2, so that we can send it to the lawyer.
Awesome.
And that's it.
Okay, great.
Tuesday at 7.
I need everything for the town report by May 7th.
May 7th is the town report deadline.
Gotcha.
Okay. fire warden report?
Mm,
Do we have any report letting us know that he's still alive?
Yeah, he's
He's
still
doing
alive.
okay? He's doing okay?
This,
That's too much, that's too much to say.
well, she didn't come out and say, but there's two things, possibility that's gonna be happening to him, and they haven't decided which one.
So he's not particularly well.
No.
At this time. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Because I talked to Melanie
Okay.
yesterday, so.
Okay, treasury report, bank reconciliation, March.
there's that. And there's Bureau motor vehicle audit that I had, if you want to look at it.
Still 90 cents.
Yes, I haven't gone back to look for it.
Oh, gosh, well, none to blame for it. Really. I can't imagine how good to them is to, you know, if it was during 90 cents to be chasing down, how would it take me 90 cents? You're talking about, 1.3 million and there's 90 cents that
Really?
just doesn't want to reconcile.
You wanna look at this, Kathy?
So, as far as our various accounts that are with Northeast Bank, you see me send some change in that? I mean, they'll just send our account to South Paris.
I use Auburn. They all have the
Or
information.
Auburn, yeah, but Auburn or South Paris, so it's all the same to you.
I don't go to Buckfield.
Yeah.
I don't go there very often anyway. I had to go to the Water Fog last week.
I heard that bank was closing.
They are closing that branch. The bank itself will carry on.
Yeah, that one, which I thought was a dumb idea.
It's,
Look how far people gotta go now.
it's an exceptionally dumb idea. What they really want, of course, is that you would start online banking. Would you
But
like
not
to-
everybody
do that?
can do that. Or wants
Nor,
to,
nor wants to.
or wants to,
Yeah. that's
like
right.
me, wants to.
This must have been wonderful fun. I'm looking over the findings of this motor vehicles audit, and for so many of the state agencies are,
Can you guys initial?
oh. So I don't believe that Lori's had a chance to look at it yet anymore. I know you just swung it over here, but so many of the state agencies are helpful and try to, help you out in any way they can, and motor vehicles seems kind of humorless to me.
Yeah, we did it over the phone on a Wednesday morning. Thank God Barbara was there, but yeah, was it fun?
Yeah.
So this was all over the phone? Oh, extra digits. You
You want to keep it? It's extra copy or
go.
check it?
I don't need to keep it.
Like she's having fun here too, trying to find it. 90 cents. Max them all up. I know it. Mine comes up that way once in a great while.
You should come help me.
Okay.
I used to do that.
Well, this brings us to calendar reminders. One is that Saturday night, the 23rd, from 5 to 7 p.m., there's going to be a benefit supper held here at the town hall. It's going to be potluck supper with a wonderful auction of all manner of donated items.
Yeah.
And I mean, all manner of donated. Last night, we took in a tablet, for instance, computer tablet. All kinds of, brand new in the
Yeah,
box.
I can see some of the stuff.
All kinds of stuff. Yes.
Can I bring something up? I don't know when this can fall into this place here, but about 3 or 4 years ago, we were looking into fixing the town office to make it have more room. And we sent people out into the community, different communities to look at town offices and see what we could do to make it a better workplace. Remember that?
Yes, I
We were
do.
talking about
I
building
do.
a new town office.
I do. That was before we had this lovely
Okay.
pandemic.
Right, okay, so for the heck of it, one day I just got this brainstorm and I came down and I looked at this town garage. If you lifted this town garage up 6 feet, it'd be at road level. And you'd be able to use this as a town office. And then I looked at, could you get a septic system in there? Well, you have to be 100 feet away from the water. You have to be 25 feet off the road, but you can't put a septic system in there, but you could put 2 tanks in and gravity feed into the pipe that's 4 feet below the corner of this building into the septic system.
It's an interesting idea.
And it would save a lot of money, but by lifting that up.
It sounds like it has potential. I'm not to put the kibosh on this, but I'm going to suggest I guess I'd like to suggest that what I'm really hearing is maybe you'd like to see us start talking about what we're going to do to address the town office issue. The town office, replacing the town office is in fact part of the comprehensive plan.
Right, and I
That
think
is,
if you-
we're ready for an update of it, and we still haven't got a town office, even though we're way past wanting to draw up a new comprehensive plan. Maybe it's almost time to start talking about it again. Yes.
I want to throw my 2 cents in on this, that I don't feel that we need to be building a new town office building. If we do anything at all, we can add some on to the building that we already have. This town doesn't need to be spending $500,000 on a new town office.
Well, sure enough, and I would agree with you on that. I guess the reason I'm saying that we could bring this up if we started to talk about it again is because, in fact, this is not an agenda item for us tonight.
No, I have no problem not
I mean,
talking about it tonight.
But no, I mean, I was just looking. So I like the way you think outside the box. That's actually kind of awesome. And it's a direction that I don't think anybody has considered. So I hope that you will hold that thought, Al, I'm hoping you will hold that thought for when we actually start to have these discussions again. I'm not gonna entertain a big discussion on the topic of the town office right now. But hold that thought, and I gotta say, I appreciate the way you're thinking outside the box.
All right, you guys have a good night.
Yeah, later, a little bit later.
What? Nothing. Okay, so that was a calendar reminder about the benefit supper coming up on Saturday night. Don't miss out, it's gonna be wonderful. And the other calendar reminder is that property taxes are due on May 1st. I know everybody wanted to hear about that. Thanks for coming. Okay, unfinished business, town report cover dedication.
The cover, I was supposed to receive some new pictures.
Did we?
Not that I know about, you know.
People were complaining they weren't included and asked for new pictures.
Okay.
Well, Lee sent me a name. I'm gonna call and do an article, get some information. I can probably coordinate
It's
pictures.
news to me then.
No, it's not. You were gonna talk to Bill Glass about it.
No, must have
And I saw him tonight. I
There's
could
gonna be
ask
some
him
historic,
about it.
gotta be some historic
Okay.
pictures out there somewhere of people at the pantry.
Maybe remind
Well,
me,
we
everybody
just
called Bill
reminded
Glass
Sumner,
about
so
pictures.
I took pictures of the new.
Right, the new.
But I
They
can't get
didn't-
you no pictures of the old. I tried getting a hold of Linda. She won't return my calls.
Hmm.
You don't have any?
And I don't know if anybody else does or not. But I don't.
I looked at the scrapbook over there.
I don't think we ever did. I don't think we ever took any. And like I said, she won't return my calls. I'm leaving her messages and she won't answer the phone, won't return my calls.
Interesting.
Anyway, the town report takes 2 to 3 weeks to print, so.
So
May
you might
7th
just,
is
you might
my
just have to
date.
put,
May 7th is the deadline.
so you might just have to put names in there.
What
instead
is
of pictures
what is
on the back
our,
cover, on the cover.
Dedication.
I'll call you.
no,
make
I'm
sure I
not,
get
no,
them.
we're already
I
talking
think-
about the food bank
Oh,
folks.
once.
So what I'm asking is, when is our next meeting?
It should be in
on,
the old one. All the people, but I'd add March too, so.
Yeah.
So what I want to know is, when is our May meeting? This is our second meeting this month, April, May. Okay, so our May meeting, we meet on the 5th.
So maybe.
Well, that's only 2 days, but you know, something that also gives us, is it 2 weeks now, before we
Yeah,
have
it's 2
to,
weeks. We can look at it.
It's doing-
it's 2 weeks from tonight.
The pickup is coming Friday, I think.
So if I don't get one, I'm gonna use this one.
There's a pickup that is coming Friday.
Okay, well,
Trouble is with that, you get some that are there
Yeah,
Fridays. and then
set a reminder to call Bill Glass about pictures.
there's a bunch there Fridays, then we have a bunch there
Mondays.
Mondays, they're not there Fridays. and
Well, like I said, if I call Bill Glass, what I heard at our last meeting is that Bill Glass had taken a bunch of pictures, and he may have some that are, you know,
You
that
think
are
you
ready to
can
rock.
meet me tomorrow?
Could I,
Yes,
yeah, Bill took some pictures for the Good Shepherd Food Bank. He got as many of us as possible in them. I wasn't there the day, I guess, the official picture was taken for the town report, but I was the one who suggested that Bill Glass would probably share the ones he took.
Lee wants
Right.
it.
Since it's the Sumner Hartford Food Bank, it wouldn't do any harm if there were Sumner people in it.
No, of
No,
course not.
sure
We're gonna
enough.
include all their names too.
sure enough. Okay, well, thanks for that. I've said.
You're welcome.
Call Bill Glass, and I will.
Yeah, I can't hear much of what's being said, so maybe I'm losing my hearing.
Other people seem to think it's loud and clear, so I don't know.
Okay, I'm owning it.
Is the light on?
Yes, the
Yeah.
light is on. Can you hear me better now?
Yes, I can.
There you go.
Who's the other person?
I just couldn't hear anything anybody said who wasn't sitting at your table.
His name is Tim Kerwin. He's the president of
That's true.
the Lake Association.
Thank you, Tim.
Lake Anderson Association.
Gotcha, Canton.
Canton Lake,
Okay.
AKA
So
Canton Lake.
Steve's number on the picture.
He's in Massachusetts right now, but he comes back. What else we need?
Dedication. Do they go through?
Yeah, you guys are gonna do a dedication, because I can't write it because I was bad at it. But like I said, I can't get no pictures, so you might just have to write the people and
We'll have something for you by the next meeting.
said I'm trying. I don't know if she's gone away, or she just won't return my calls, or I don't know.
Hard telling, not knowing. When I've called her, she takes an awful long
Yeah,
time to get to the phone.
no, she don't bother to answer it, and usually she don't bother.
Well,
to
maybe
chat
she's
to you,
had too much spam lately. I don't know.
but
In any
who
case,
knows? Could be
so
away where it was Easter too, so. Well, I called it.
I'd like to say, moving right along, I'd like to say that I'd spent more time looking at the cyber policy. Is there a deadline on adopting this? Okay.
Town report, Selectmen's annual report, you're working on that too.
The what?
Annual town
Writing an annual report for the writing an annual report for the town report.
started it.
select board report. Oh, no, so this is for the town report. Nice. Did you write something for the Hartford News?
Nope, I just got the food bank and the roads. You said Hartford News?
Oh, yeah, it's because I mentioned last night about the Hartford News, but you're already, looks like you're already working on the,
The newsletter's got a
Town
little
report.
longer
Pardon?
deadline, right?
What's that?
The newsletter's got a little longer deadline than the.
Lenny, tell us again what the deadline is for the Hartford News?
The deadline is May 15th, and I will get that issue out by May 27th if everybody gets the materials to me on or before the 15th.
Will do.
That never happens, but if it could,
Yeah. What do we want to know?
We just talk about what has gone on since the last Hartford News.
Pretty much what the report was.
Not really.
Well,
but
no, the
Anytime
report
that
was
I've
a little
written,
more.
anytime that I've written an annual
You
report,
do the whole year.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
you go back to
Go back
the beginning of the
the whole year.
fiscal year, and in order to remember what the select board has done, you go back and you review the minutes of each and
Yep.
every meeting, and you look down and you see what in the minutes is something that we actually decided and that we did. And that way, because there's minutes, you can actually remember what happened, because otherwise, if you had 19 years of this, one year would blend into the other and you'd forget. But the minutes are really helpful that way, and I've always just gone back and reviewed the minutes, and that's how I've done an annual report. But if we have until after May 5th to actually do this, I think we'll get it together, because I know I haven't had time to write something. And I'm more than willing to work on.
How about that be our last go around, Laurie?
No, not me.
Huh?
Not me right now. I've been having troubles with stress here lately, and half the time I forget what I'm even doing. Too much
Yeah,
things
we'll
going
look it
on right
over.
now in my family, so, and with my friends, so.
All right. There you go. Well, May 15th is when my current work assignment is scaling back. So, so I might be able to handle that. But I will bring it, what I would like to have is some thoughts
Oh, good.
on what should be included. Like what we've done in the last, what has happened in the last few months, but that shouldn't be that hard to come up with. And you wrote down a few,
I've got
you wrote down a few things.
Food bank,
yeah, food bank
the
closed.
roads, what we done. Plans,
ARPA money maybe.
That's right, that's what I was saying last night.
that's in there.
I'll mention the bulky waste, you know.
Oh, yeah, bulky waste, okay.
I was gonna do an
What is
article,
it?
trash talk again.
ARC.
I don't know if they'll let me use that title. They changed it last time, but call it trash talk. And
Why not?
bulky waste and recycling through the summer and where they
There you
can bring
go.
other stuff, because there's only gonna be one pickup. So like giving
Well,
resources off.
In particular, I want to,
List the-
somebody's gonna want to talk about, it doesn't necessarily have to be in the select board letter, or it could be, about the upcoming free swap day.
Free swap day and the historical society, but we could put,
Well, the
We can
Hartford
fix that
Heritage
in
Society
there.
will probably have a full page talking about what their events are gonna be.
Yeah.
So we don't necessarily have to worry about the Hartford Heritage Society. That's a, technically, it's a private,
Yeah.
private outfit, and that's not, not of municipal concern.
Nope,
Municipal
they do their own
support, but
anyways.
not municipal
Yeah.
concern.
Don't they usually put in their own article?
That's correct.
Yeah.
That is correct.
I could make a post.
Okay, so food bank, road bond, ARPA, money, bulky waste, what else? Is there anything else in particular that we want to make sure and mention in the select board letter? Come on, Leanne, I know you know something, anything. It doesn't have to be longer than that, I just, but if anybody should happen to think of something,
Yeah.
say
Not that
something.
Ben will be happy about this, but we are talking about the summer projects coming up this summer.
I did.
In the newsletter, I mean.
Oh,
Yeah, I
They're
usually,
working on that.
well, when I talk about the road bond, that's gonna be, like what we have left of the road bond and that which is gonna be happening with that. And maybe I can touch bases with you on other plans to let people, give people a heads up on that. Okay, so
it's all in here.
there you go.
Kevin
Nice.
and I have been working on that kind of anyway.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Well,
Staring at you. Zoning.
okay, so that brings us to open session. And dang, I didn't write something down, but it seemed like I had something for open session.
Well, I do.
Yes, please.
It has to do with broadband. And I found out, I was talking to a Spectrum guy the other day, and he told me why he doesn't do Hartford. Why they don't do Hartford. He says the town has to invite him in, allow him to come in. So why hasn't Hartford let him in? People have been wanting broadband. They could have had Spectrum all these years.
We looked at it years ago
Oh.
and we had to.
We've,
So many
we
places.
we have tried to coax Spectrum in. I have
There was a
actually
process.
called and talked to their head honcho and received no calls back, or, they have been
Yeah, they
not interested
I
in the
was
town
talking
of
to one of the
Hartford.
guys there the other day, so. he
Yeah,
said
there's
it-
more to it than just that.
There
Is it?
sure is.
Okay.
We have to prove.
So
our
many sign up.
population or s- I don't know.
You have to prove that you have so many people that would actually take Spectrum.
They would've
And
been.
right now, I don't think there are that many. I mean, I've
No,
been,
not now. no.
so, yeah, broadband is one of my open session topics too. And, what I have found is that in trying to get a committee together, we accepted a grant for like $4,000 or something.
a cake.
Hold on, I'm still in this meeting.
Hi, Jace. So in any case, in trying to scour up a committee, which was the first line of business for this grant, I'm finding that a lot of the people who said they'd be on a committee, they get broadband now and they don't care. Because of course, First Light is out there laying those cables up overhead everywhere in town. Slowly but surely, it's taken a while, but so a lot of the people who are interested in the, well, there you go. A lot of the people who are interested in the committee at one point frankly, don't care about universal access as long as they've got it.
Yeah, because years ago, I wanted Spectrum, but I couldn't get it, so
Well, you know, there you go.
now I don't need it, so.
Well, there you go. So,
I have something for open session.
okay, well, you want to let me get done with what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Please. So in any case, in talking to Mia Purcell, who is the, person who has been essentially the point person on trying to get broadband in Western Maine, if we don't have a committee and we're not going to be doing something about it, we're going to need to return that grant. But if we're not going to use it, then that is what it is. And I just wanted to say that it's probably where we're going to be at. For me, it's been really quite a project to try and scare up a committee all by myself. And in any case, so I just wanted to say that is, kind of falling apart. And did you say something about that Bill had asked you about somebody asked you, what are you doing about broadband? Oh, no, you told me about Ed
Ed
Henshaw
Henshaw.
had said it the other
Yeah.
day. What are you doing about broadband? Well, not much, because of course, the thinking was earlier on and some months ago that, well, we're gonna have to take some of that ARPA money to go into universal broadband, but it looks like it's kind of being rolled out in town. You can be certain that no private company is going to give access to absolutely everybody, but they are going into some mighty out of the way locations. So what can I say? I want to throw my hands up in the air, but I guess I can only do so much. And I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I just wanted to let you know about that because that's probably where we're going to end up, is to having to
Give it
return
back
that.
to 'em.
Return that grant. Because the state will turn around and give it to somebody else, another town who actually needs it, because if our residents are all getting broadband now and are all feeling happy about it, then there's nothing to complain about, right?
Happy to give him $100,000.
What? Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, no kidding, huh?
Lenny wants something.
Lenny wants something?
No.
Yeah, she did.
She has an
For
open session.
Lenny, you had something for open session?
Yes, and the discussion started last night at the budget committee meeting about BIM being able to use the town grader to fix the railroad bed if he
Yes.
donates his time.
Right, I actually was gonna bring it up here too. I just wanted, we had talked, Lenny and I had talked with some about the railroad bed here. The rec committee or whatever has some money that we're gonna put in to buy some more stone to build up some of those lower spots.
Right.
I said, if the town would allow me to take the town grader, and I would donate my time to do it. If I could grade that in, I could pull a lot of that material back in the road.
Well, this is town property. I don't see why there's any question whether the town would allow it.
Bounce it off before I was up there with the grader.
Well, I don't
Being
see,
accused of everything.
well, you know something? I don't have a problem with it at all.
Me neither.
I
Well,
think we could help that. The first grading, it's not gonna look the best, but. it's
no,
gonna
sure
take
not, sure not.
Several gradings and that could go.
But the
Back in the
railroad
day.
bed is town property, it may not be a
You wanna hold
public
$600.
way of the way the roads are,
Yes.
but,
You're gonna hold $600.
There's a
Like
lot of
600?
full back in, so. But we gotta get rid of some of that water first, that's set in the railroad bed, before we can think about grading.
yeah. Lenny, if you're not talking, you want to mute yourself so that you can continue to have conversations at home?
Yeah, but are we done?
I think
Yes,
so,
okay.
unless you have something more to talk
I
about
don't
it.
think she heard Ben say he has to wait for the water to go down.
Did you?
I do not.
Okay, he says he has to wait for the water to go down a little bit before wouldn't happen immediately, but it will happen.
Lee can go out and take up the beaver dam.
Kathy will help me in my spare time.
So what was it, a deal?
I don't know what it was.
It was an eel. But in any case, you'll never get over it, I know it. In any case, does anybody else have something for open session? Leanne,
have you contacted a moderator?
Moderator for
Yeah.
town meeting. No, but I can.
Thank you. And the Canton email, they want you to meet with them on May 12th at 6 p.m.
I saw that. I saw that. Yeah, this is, yeah, this just in from the town of Canton. The Canton Board of Selectmen would like to invite you to our board meeting on Thursday, May 12th at 6 p.m. in our meeting room at 94 Turner Street to discuss the shortage of qualified CEO LPI personnel. We are interested in discussing some possible options with area towns. We look forward to potentially working together. Please respond to this email to let us know who will be attending. And that, that was sent tonight, but the May 12th is the date. Let me just make sure that I'm open that day. I would be more than happy to go there. However,
Yeah, what day?
it's a Thursday night, but it is a second Thursday, so it's not our meeting
interfere
night,
with us.
so. Pardon?
Won't interfere with us.
I didn't know the acronym. What type of people are they looking for?
Oh, a code officer and licensed plumbing inspector.
That's what I got.
However, I think it's important to recall that while we do have an employee who is a code officer and licensed plumbing inspector, any person who is in that position has a right to work for other towns, all they want, as long as they can still manage what they need for us. But it's up to that person. It's not up to the town to share that person. I'm not sure what they're thinking. So, but I'm more than willing to, I mean, it's an invitation. I'm more than willing
It's
to
up to
attend.
Scott, isn't it?
Can't false for sharing.
It's up to, well, in this case, it's Scott, but it's up to whoever.
Yeah, they do.
Because you can't, it's not enough work for one.
Oh, most of them do. Yeah.
Poland Mechanic Falls used to share one. I don't know if they still do.
Sure. Well, lots of towns share them, but it's up to the person. It's not up to the,
Absolutely. No, no, I'm
it's
not
not a
disputing that.
municipal decision is what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
And,
And talking about budgeting. So
Right, and so, in any case, so this is 94 Turner Street, huh?
maybe a conversation with our code enforcement officer beforehand too.
I sent it to him too.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he
was working out there, but I think he's.
Stop it, didn't
He looks at things for free, don't he? I mean, I don't have to pay him to look at my land.
No, you don't have to pay him to look at
Okay.
your land if there's a
Oh,
code
well,
issue.
My daughter in about 3 or 4 years wants to move up here, and when they're coming up here in June, they wanted somebody to look over the land to see where, if a house will fit in there and the septic, you know.
What time is
and-
it? 6 p.m. Oh, for crying out loud. Okay, so
Yeah, before they actually do it.
that's a good idea. There you
Get up in
go.
the
So I have
jam.
put, I have that put in there. And so maybe I'll attend, but like I said, just because it's an invitation, and of course you two are both completely welcome to attend that as well. But like I said, it's not up to us to share a CEO. I mean, if
You could get some fire department members when you're there.
it's conceivable. But in any case, do you want this back? No? Yeah. Here, take
We
this,
lost the Canton
take this,
Lake
it'll
guy.
remind you. In any case, great, thanks for that. I will see about the moderator. So I have a number of, I'm taking on quite a few assignments here. Okay, so on to new business. We have some town hall use permits. So here you say, I see, so for business meeting for Al Borzelli.
Yeah, policy said it's, the selectmen may approve nonprofits to use.
Yeah,
the-
right, exactly. So do you want us to just approve it? Do you have something for us to sign or
No.
just, yeah,
Does he
okay.
have to
I
do
move
his
that we
insurance
approve.
papers, like,
I'm curious what exactly kind of business meeting Al Borzelli is having.
It's part of the fees, remember?
Oh, but you're calling it a business meeting. Okay,
He
because-
is gonna be.
because it
down
was
in business.
beekeeping class, yeah.
No, it's not a class, it's a meeting.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I approve Al Borzilli to use the hall on the 24th of April. Well, that's coming right up, it's Sunday.
Second it.
Wait.
Sunday.
Are you charging him? Do you want him to provide insurance?
No, as a nonprofit.
What if someone gets hurt?
Well, we have insurance.
Okay.
So at no cost.
Yeah, because he asked for that a long time ago.
I know, but the policy says it's up to you guys.
This
I'm
is not,
asking.
but this is not his B class, it's something else. Because I know he was gonna have a class on beekeeping. That he'd asked permission to use the hall for.
And you're waiving the insurance requirement.
Yes.
Kathy, did you second?
Yep.
All in favor? Okay, I move we let the Hartford Heritage Society use the hall for their yard sale on June 25th.
With,
Second it.
at no cost. and we're-
At no
we're
cost,
waiving-
at no cost and waiving insurance requirement.
And I second it.
Although I believe the Heritage Society is insured for their other events, and chances are the fact that they're holding their event here would probably not, it would not cancel their insurance. But, and I move that we allow the town to hold a free sale in the hall on June 4th.
Is it sponsored?
Is that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, basically, and I mean, it's townspeople, and it's for townspeople to bring their stuff instead of throwing it out at the side of the road when it's perfectly good stuff.
And I second it.
All in favor?
I also have another one, Rose Osborne. It's hard to read, but she would like to use the hall on June 10th. For
Gain Point of Light Group would like to use the hall for a guest speaker
It's a Friday, isn't it?
on
I
June
think
10th.
so.
I don't know.
My daughter's due here on the 12th, and that's a Sunday.
Well,
I checked the town calendar, it's free.
the 10th, it is in fact a Friday.
Yeah.
Well, the Pinpoint of Light Church has used this hall for
Meetings before, yeah.
they used
Church
it
meetings,
they
yeah.
used it once, once a week for
Yeah.
a heck of a long while. So I move that we allow the Pinpoint of Light Church to
And they
use the
still
town
start
hall for their event on
Give us all the
June
chairs.
4th without a certificate of insurance and at no cost.
I second it.
Excuse me, did you say June 4th?
No,
Okay.
June 10th.
Oh, okay.
The free sale. is on June 4th. There you go. Thanks for that. Okay, so workers' compensation tier 1 compliance.
Yeah, we got to get on that, I guess.
I have training here, Deb and I watched, I watched them all. It has been returned to.
What is
on
it?
Fire extinguishers, ergonomics.
Is it like,
15 minutes.
is it
each, CDs.
CDs? Oh my God, who
And I
does
created-
who does training on CDs anymore?
I couldn't find anything.
You copy the CDs? I mean,
Oh,
is
with
that-
it from a state.
I didn't know if they, like at a training drive, downloading too.
No, he said all employees have to do these trainings, and then all new employees.
Oh,
So I created a safety book. I have a document of everyone who takes the training for each thing. Certificates in the back.
No kidding. Now, does every elected official have to take the safety training or just employees? All employees.
I think that includes everyone. You know how to use a fire extinguisher.
I've got to watch a CD to figure that one out, I'm sure.
What is that called? Press T, was it pass? I saw that on the show the other day.
I used to know it as
I
a no.
I know about the stop, drop and roll, but
And we also have to have everyone get together and we go through the emergency management, the response plan, both of those that I gave you.
right,
After they're updated.
Can't wait out to June.
It has to be, no, we have 30 days.
Oh.
So
30 days from now or 30 days from when?
from the day that he sent me the email, we have 30 days to respond to the plan, and then I don't know the deadline to actually complete everything is, but everyone has to be documented as reviewing that. After it's updated.
Okay,
I-
after it's updated.
I updated all the contacts.
So is this the updated version or just says update? So this update needs to be updated.
Yeah, because that's 2000.
Okay, right.
Vinny, if you can have one of the boys or a couple of the boys come up and take that ladder down in the back of the garage.
Yeah, I gotta get the rest of that old stuff out of there.
Well, so the ladder in the back of the garage is this
Yeah, I see that.
extension ladder. It actually belongs to Harvey's.
Harvey's?
Yes.
The one outside leaning up against the door.
Yes. It was borrowed from them back when Richard
Oh,
was doing the,
Harvey's over here.
yes,
Yeah, we'll
yes.
get it down.
You know, I mean, I don't know if they even want it back, but in any case, it's gotta be
Been
down
leaned up there 2 or 3 years.
2 or 3. It was been leaned up there since Richard Dyer painted the building. And that's more than 2 or 3 years, let's just say.
So they want the garage clean, they want the basement clean, they want the light fixed on the stairs, exit sign.
Yep.
They
Yeah.
want, what else?
And what is our deadline for getting this stuff done?
Boilers, the furnaces have to be inspected, but they're coming.
Yeah, they're
the
coming on
town
Friday.
office is coming May 5th
The town office is coming May 5th, what?
to clean the furnace.
Oh, the folks are coming to clean the furnace, yeah.
We have to inspect the fire extinguishers every month.
See, I thought we were on top of that, but evidently we've been losing track.
Well, we thought it was once a year, but he said once a
Oh,
month.
no, it's been, last I knew it was once a month.
We need an instant.
Somebody's
review
got to just put
policy,
a
Yeah,
initial.
I
in.
did it last time, this last month.
We know, what's the policy we need?
Incident review policy.
Yeah, okay.
Do you already have something like that in place? I could get you an incident report and our policy, and you could use that to model.
A template is a great idea.
Just save you some time.
That's a great idea, thank you. Okay, well, seems like, and do we have a deadline to get all this stuff done? That's what I need to know.
You have to respond within 30 days of that email.
And when did the email come in?
March 21st.
Whoops, right. It's gone by.
Just by a couple.
So do
days.
we just blow it off? Or do we contact them and beg for mercy?
Right now, I think.
I usually find that contacting people and begging for mercy will buy you some time.
Yeah, I think
Well,
we
we
will,
needed to review it during the selectmen meeting, which didn't fall by.
because he said just
Well,
take
today is
pictures
the
of stuff
21st.
that he,
Oh, see, so good.
But it's a 30 days.
No, and we're not talking just about the policy part. We're talking about the cleaning out of the garage.
I was
and-
gonna
and
say,
so
they gotta give
forth.
us more time than that, than 30 days, so.
This is his original email. Okay, there's a safety policy for you to go over. They got together. So this sent this on April 8th.
Oh, so it gives us a little more slack.
doesn't really got a date in here, does he?
It's here, he said we have 30 days to respond. And then corrective action. And then we walked in the middle of it.
And 30 days to respond. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that day. In any case, 30 days to respond, doesn't that mean that within 30 days we can call them up and say, yep, gotcha.
Pretty much.
With an action plan or not?
Yeah, we're working on it.
Really? What time of year it
We,
is?
we got this too from the DOT. And I wanted to ask you what you thought on that. I am assuming that we will probably go with that club again, because we have year after year after year and done pretty well. But
Who's handling that? Leslie this year or?
that we, Leslie is the secretary of AgCom, but that doesn't mean she's handling anything about it. I mean, if she were the sort to show up at meetings, she would probably tell us that they're still on with it, but
Yeah, I have no problem staying with the company live there, but
oh, that's kind of what I was thinking.
they've been very good with us about, in fact, they're a lot better than what ordering salt from Sumner was. We could order my salt, I'd call Easton Salt, and they'd have it up to me the next day. Over in Sumner, they ordered salt, and sometimes took them a week. Get a load up for them.
Yeah. Your cell phone and I keep it turned off. Only 2 people have my number. No, 3 people. I'll take that back. So don't know it now.
So if you guys can review that stuff, I'll respond to them and tell them we're working on it.
Yep. That sounds right to me.
Greg, yeah, the lights. Have Greg check out the lights. He's supposed to do something with these. He must have forgot it.
At some point.
Yeah, there's the workers.
I'd much rather be burning more power and to be able to see. It's not like we have them on 24/7 or even 8 hours a day. Okay, so what is next? Road standards amended ordinance.
I was hoping it would come to you about that.
As long as we get time to manage it, yeah.
Excuse me, I did not hear what Leanne said.
I put it on the agenda just in case it had come to the Board of Selectmen.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, administrative orders, chapter 2, that is also not ready, so table. Quick claim corrected deed. Aaron Langlois. Lisa,
She's thinking about selling her father's lot that she bought from the town.
she did.
So I did some research for her and the quit claim deed from the town to her was incorrect, so it needs to be
Oh, so what was the,
re-recorded.
what was the,
They didn't include all of the liens to be released.
okay. Well, I'm not surprised. Great, so how many signatures do we have to sign? Multiple pages or just checking, just checking.
The next one.
Okay.
No, we'll abstain.
Okay, Kathy. And we're gonna have to have these witnessed. Did you see me sign that? Somebody's gonna witness it.
I saw you sign that.
You got 2 people right here, so.
There you go. There you go.
Well, watch me then.
I have one.
Making me sign my whole name.
Yeah.
There, you want witnesses? You just right there, there, and there.
Like, can I type?
Yes, you have to.
That's the deal.
Yep.
I mean, I suppose you could put little quotation marks, but I recommend you sign your name.
I would just say I didn't really see.
If you're running for select board, you better get used to signing your name, because you get to do an awful
That's
lot.
right.
I didn't really see Kathy signed down there. I'm hoping that really. was
That's,
her.
that's why
I
I shortened
think
my
it was
name.
her.
But once in a while, she has my full name on there, so.
Is it like Laura Lee or?
Yes, Lori Lee, yeah. So I just.
Oh,
went
so
along.
that is done. Town meeting warrant articles.
I didn't copy this because it's not numbered right and they're not in the right order. I just wanted to make sure I have everything that you guys want on there. I just run through them real quick.
Yeah, sure.
We're over in the waste by 1678, so I have an article for that
$1,678, yeah,
from last year.
okay.
Trying to do the road standards amended ordinance.
I have the main bond bank. article
You guys.
separate. The main bond bank article I had separate, because it has to be worded a certain way, and then I'll have the remainder of the summer roads and then the rest in a different article.
Yeah.
You're all right with that?
I guess so. I guess I'm not sure why we have to have the bond bank on there.
I had a separate article for the bond bank payments,
Right.
so it's not just summer roads, including the bond. and then
We're
some-
taking it out of our summer road money to make the payment.
Yeah, so should I have it together? I just have to have certain wording in there, that's all. I can say it includes the main, you rather have it as one article?
I would imagine it would all be one article for summer roads. You know, I mean, we don't want to make things more complicated than they are.
Yeah.
Well, nothing's simple, but we can go for the best we can get. Right?
I had reval reserve and town office reserve, capital outlay, you said you wanted 2,500 in that one. To replace what we're using. I don't know, if- probably should talk about it at the budget meetings. If you want to put
sure.
money
I think that's a good idea.
Administrative ordinance, road standards, the ARBA article. Or one article for the culverts, one for the beach.
Mhm.
I had selling Marlow Road, but you probably don't want to sell it.
Probably not.
Do you want to sell the church, anything?
You put selling Marble Road?
You
The
dumb,
dump.
dumb.
Oh, I thought you were talking, you said selling the road. I was gonna say, selling a road? What?
Well,
On that ARPA money, you need two articles or is it just one?
yeah.
Okay.
Road closing of Darrington Road and Marble Road. Multi-year contracts with Turner, Buckfield, Canton. Is there anything else I'm missing?
Yes. The, all of the local option liquor.
That's
License
secret
stuff.
ballot.
Oh, that's secret
So we
ballot.
don't vote on that.
Oh, yeah, duh, sorry. I guess I was forgetting that.
I was
So-
thinking of, at some point, maybe raising a little bit of money for the Laura Fog so we can help more people out. But doesn't have to be this year.
Well, if that's the case, we ought to at least run it by the budget committee.
Is that in the social services?
It's not a social service.
Well, it is a social service of sorts, but it is a town.
Right.
You know, it is a
Yeah.
town, it's a
Mhm.
town reserve
Right.
account. So it's basically raising money for, it's a trust, that's what it is, and amounts to a reserve account. Technically, I think it's a trust, not a reserve account. But it amounts to a reserve account. And, you know, I mean, if we made a habit of raising even a small amount, say like $1,000 in a given year, and just made a habit of that, the Laura Fog Irish Trust would actually build right up. But I don't know, is that, I guess I'd want to go back and look at what it amounts to now. What?
Number 5.
Ordinance committee didn't meet on Tuesday.
That's right, that's right. So 5 and 6 are both tables. Okay, so,
Did the quick claim.
is there anything, yes, so the question is, are there any other town meeting articles, other than the boilerplate articles and the budget articles that we need to put in there? Looks like Lenny is no longer with
Yeah,
us.
we lost everybody. but
I know she was talking about trying
Jen's
to,
on there,
she was talking about trying to get
I don't
the,
Bonaventure maybe?
Jen Bonaventure, yes. So she was talking, Lenny was talking about trying to have a no spray ordinance. I don't picture they'll have it together in
I
time.
don't think we're gonna have all of these ready. We'll see.
Well, you know, so I'm just saying,
Probably not.
I'm just saying,
Good night.
Right,
See you, Ben.
yep, keep up the good work, man.
you all have a meeting.
Did I say shoreline?
I don't know if you did say shoreline, but it certainly should be on there in any case.
Well, if you think of anything, let me know so I can have it ready.
Yeah. So LD 2003 informational, my understanding is it was passed with some changes. It did pass. It was
So the governor
passed.
signed it?
I'm not
Last
sure
I knew,
about
it was waiting for our signature.
I think it's still waiting for a signature, but it was passed out of the legislature with some changes, and the changes were positive. But I can't claim to have read the whole thing in its current form. Okay, so we also have Ms. Langlois' name comes up again.
Yes, during the research I was doing, I saw that she was being taxed for a mobile home that's been removed for 3 years.
It has been gone for a spell.
They tore it down. Tore it down. There's a camper up there.
Yeah, I went. I
Oh,
actually went
man.
by
Well,
and
she's
took
gonna be
pictures
some tickled
for
to see
Mike
this,
and
huh?
sent them to him, so he put like $3,000 value on what's there. And we did the rest. And she didn't have a home savings. She could be saving all kinds of money.
On her own place, she didn't have a
Right.
mistake. Oh, for crying out loud. Sorry. You're just a little on that one.
Good.
Any motion?
I move that we grant the a tax abatement to Aaron Langlois in the amount of I know that, $1,038.57 for 2021 and $1,006.61 for the year 2020. There you go. I'll sign it up. All in favor? Yep. Wow, she's gonna be some tickled with that. Oh. Brings us to appointments and resignations, and I'd like to hope that there are no appointments and resignations. Yeah, I don't know what to say about poor responsible pet care. You read that request for ARPA funds to build themselves a new shelter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they get sick animals, so they want like a quarantine facility. At least that's what I read of it. How to socialize puppies. Just watch yourself. If you socialize them enough, they'll turn into complete knuckleheads. What's going on with that?
Some breeds are worse than others.
Oh, my
Some are
God.
just plain too friendly.
Candidates night is June 6th.
Second, it's first and second. First is ordinances and the local option, I believe, and the second is all the other articles. Candidates. And the first is also the school budget vote up in Northford.
Yeah, I went to that one year.
Which I'm the only one who went to it.
The more
I
places
went
the
to
puppy
it
is
one
taken
year.
to, the better.
I
Well,
took
that's
my
what I
friend
did,
with me
Linda.
because
She
the
says, the more
principal
places the puppy's
of
taken
some
to, the better.
of
Treats
of
maybe give
school out
them.
here, some
That's
after
how
school,
she turned into.
was
such
one
an
of his
ass
students when he was the
knucklehead.
principal of New Falls. So he wanted to go, so to see him. He was there.
Do you want to take a look at that?
No,
You want to take a look at the?
so
Oh, teach you how to socialize your
he
puppy.
went with me that day, so.
Technically, she's still a puppy, but. mm.
We're
Yeah,
all,
now
we're all
with the
doing
hormones.
that.
It's the first time I've ever actually owned a dog that wasn't.
We did a lot of
Fixed.
donations.
Yeah, it looks that way. So do we have anything under appointments and resignations? Well, at least we haven't got any resignations this time around. I would like to suggest now, when I was looking at the, was it at the website? At the website, there were only 2 people listed under, there were only 2 people listed under solid waste committee. But there's at least one more, Tamara McNeil.
She never took her oath of office.
She never took her oath of office.
I don't know what the expiration is, but I've sent her a letter.
Hmm.
I didn't really much email, so
Well,
it's taken-
you know, I know she's working and also taking classes and has 2 small kids, so not surprising to hear that, but a little disappointing. So there's actually only 2 people at this time. So hoping to be more than that. Because I'd like to try and drag the people who are solid waste folks in on the swap day. Well, no. There's at least one other woman that I've met who would probably be really interested, but I know that she's not overly well. And her name is April, and she lives on Town Farm Road. I don't remember her last name.
McDonald.
That's right. That's right. I've only met her in person once, but I talked to her on the phone. She's very much the solid waste committee sort. I don't know if she's well enough to participate.
Well, how many of you go down to the Buckfield thing? You, Laurie,
What,
who else?
to the swap shop from Hartford?
Yeah.
Gloria and I do it when.
Well,
Ron is.
there's 2, and there's me, and then Bonnie is also
Bishop?
regular, Bonnie
Yeah.
Bishop's
Yeah,
also. I don't know if she's got a regular date or she just serves as a substitute when one of us can't be there. But so there's that's at least 4 people from Hartford.
Yep.
And there have in the past been others from Hartford who were, who worked there.
I got a list for the certificate from Bill Glass, and then I checked it with Polly. She added a couple, so hopefully that's everyone.
Okay. Anyway, so that brings us to training. Is there any training?
Bob did talk to
tomorrow?
you about what happened on Saturday. I
Uh,
mean, Don Barry, he did talk to you. didn't he?
Actually, there was a meeting.
Yeah, I know.
Tomorrow, yesterday afternoon,
He was
there was
supposed to have been.
there was a meeting. I was kind of blindsided, but I didn't realize it was
Oh,
gonna be.
Don didn't tell you?
Actually, well, he told me about it, but it's like, tell me when I show up.
Yeah,
I
that's what
kind
he
of,
told us. too,
if
so.
I know that I'm gonna be expected to stay an extra half hour, I would have appreciated a little bit of notice.
Well, he
but-
didn't tell us till we get there too, so.
In any case, so yes, I was there for that, and I guess the main issue was that there were not enough volunteers on Saturday. And more volunteers are needed for that. In any case. So do we have any other correspondence besides just this little newspaper newsletter?
I think I included some in your packet.
Yeah. Let's see that. Thanks for that. Well, I guess that's good. We can 8:38. By gosh, I think we're really on a roll here. Not doing too bad for us. What?
Even you want to roll. Kathy and I already go. to
Well, I know, I'm on a roll
I'll still
because
be up late.
Oh, no.
because I guess what I'm saying is, we're on a roll. I mean, it's like, it's not 9 o'clock or 9:30 or something like that. I think we're doing okay.
Okay.
Let's call it good.
Yeah.
Thanks for everything. Not clear that they're really paying
Hi, Jen.
attention. I'm not clear that they're really paying attention at this point.
I would have seen when I